Hey everybody. Sorry about that. This has been a crazy week. I am very sick. So a week ago, I came back from the US on a flight, and I believe on that flight, I got the flu. Now, I believe that because when I was in Oregon, I was only with a very few people. I didn't have contact with almost anyone else, and those people, none of them are sick, and none of them were sick before I left. And since I've been back here, I have only left the property once, and that was the day after I got back to go shopping. And I went early in the morning when there was almost no people in the store, had contact with very few people, and none of them seemed sick. But let me just say, on the plane ride down here, there was a person sitting at the gate for an hour, coughing uncontrollably without covering their mouth or anything. And then they got on the plane and continued to cough uncontrollably for 2 hours all the way down to Loretto. And 2 days later, I have the flu and am miserable. Probably a lot of other people on the plane too, because a lot of people have the flu in Loretto now. I don't know if it's all due to one person, but it's definitely going around. So, I've been here alone for the past week. For the past 5 days, I've been super sick with all the flu symptoms of vomiting and high fever and, aches and pains and chills and heat waves, like all that stuff that goes along with that. I've also had a bad cough, and I haven't been able to keep anything down. For 4 days, I didn't eat anything except just sipping water, because even if I drank too much water, I would just throw it back up. So I went 4 days without eating anything. Yesterday, I actually got to eat a little bit and was able to keep it down. So that's pretty good progress. And today, I'm feeling a little bit better. I think my fever has finally broken, which that for me is the most miserable part of this whole thing. And I was able to get down and do a little tiny bit of minimal cleaning down at the pool, because I haven't been down there for 5 days to do anything. Our cleaners have come in to clean the villas when we had flips during this period, but they are able to do all that themselves. I do have a person that I can call in to do all the outside maintenance, but I was hoping I would get better. But anyways, I got down there. I got the very minimal done, just everything wiped down really quick. I was dizzy, and probably because I haven't eaten hardly anything in like 5 days. So I got that all done. I came back up here. I'm going to sit in the sun a little bit and get some vitamin D. Hopefully this will help me recover faster. I was able to sit out yesterday and get some vitamin D too, and it felt so good to sit in the sun. And then, as you probably know, if you watch our videos, Esperanza is up in the US for an undetermined amount of time, helping her sister who had some medical issues. So I was down here alone during this whole process, which is not bad, because if Esperanza was here, she probably would be sick as I am, and we both would be sick. And so it's probably better that I was here by myself. I am trying to get a video together for this week. I have never missed a video, and this will be episode 155. So I've never missed a weekly video in 155 episodes. That's 3 years of videos. And I don't plan to miss this week just because I'm sick. So I have some video of some projects that I worked on, some small projects, and I'm going to show you that. Sorry for the long intro. Let's get straight to the video. We're Douglas and Esperanza, and we decided to leave our lives in the US and move to magical Laredo, Mexico, where we built our boutique resort, Pufferfish Villas, from the ground up and work running it and saving to expand in the future. Please come with us to follow our journey and live before you die. Yesterday we got a delivery from Amazon and we got some new hammocks. Now the old hammocks that we had were damaged by the sun. They had ripped and had to get rid of them. So I ordered some new hammocks. These are actually made in Mexico in the Yucatan and they look really nice. So I'm gonna go down and get these put up so that we can have hammocks again, because we haven't had hammocks for like 5 days. I think 5 days. It only took me like 5 days to get these here after I ordered them. So we're gonna get these hammocks put up so we can have hammocks again. So I was hoping these hammocks would be the same size without any adjustment, but not the case. They're actually quite a bit bigger than the old hammocks we had, which is good, because the old ones weren't small, but they weren't huge. These ones are huge. So I'm gonna have to adjust the attachment there to make it longer. This other one, I don't know, because it's like, I'm gonna have to do something. I might have to wrap it around a little bit, but let's get this one up and then we'll see. This generally takes a little trial and error because you don't know how much these are gonna stretch. These are probably going to stretch quite a bit. Let's see how this placement works. And I can already tell I'm sitting on the ground. So we're going to have to shorten that up quite a bit because these are kind of stretchy. Second attempt, you can see starts out pretty high, but it's pretty stretchy, so I'm going to see. The ropes actually aren't that stretchy, so all the stretch is coming out of this hammock. All right, let me see if I can do this without falling on the ground. Okay. This is nice. Oh, this is really nice. Now, let me see. My bottom is still pretty close to the ground. I think I'm going to put these up a little higher because I weigh about 155, 160 pounds, and someone heavier is going to stretch a little more and it might end up hitting the ground. So let's move it up even a little bit more, and hopefully the third time is just right, just like Goldilocks. All right, let's see, grab the edge here. Getting into a hammock one-handed is kind of difficult sometimes. Okay. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Wow. This is definitely a good size hammock. You could get 2 people in here, no problem. Oh, and it's nice. I'm looking up at the palm trees. Sun's coming up. It's early in the morning. But this is just about perfect. And you can also sit in it like this, which is, I usually like to sit in kind of like this, like a big chair. So let's see what we can do over there between those 2 trees here. All right, this one, no way this is gonna work. The trees are just too close together for this hammock. So, I think we're gonna have to reroute this hammock, and it'll go from this tree to that tree, so it'll kind of be beside these. The problem why we didn't do that before is because this tree is right here and I didn't want to move it, but looks like I'm gonna have to move it to make this happen. This areca palm is in here pretty good. The roots have grown pretty deep, So I'm gonna get the breaker bar in here and see if I can get it loosened up so I can get it out. Now hopefully it'll survive because it's pretty big, it's got pretty big roots. I'm gonna try to take as much dirt with it as I can, but you never can get enough when you're doing these things. So all right, now I got this thing out. I can see how big a hole I need to make for that root ball. That's why I didn't dig a hole first, because I don't want to dig any more than I have to. Got this guy in here, looks pretty good. We'll hope it survives. All right, so I got both the hammocks finally finished and they've been adjusted, and they were actually used yesterday by our guests. And so when they first get used, they stretch out a little bit, the ropes stretch a little bit, and the hammocks stretch a little bit. So I readjusted them last night, and everything is set up here super nice. Oh, just sit here in the sun and enjoy the morning. But I've got to get back to work. Well, I just got back from a trip to the US, and Esperanza's still up there, but I came back early because I need to take care of stuff here at Pufferfish Villas. So I am down here in the laundry room, you may recognize, the lavanderia, and I have a new toy that I brought back with me. Now, this is not little. I had to use an entire biggest suitcase we had to get this back on the plane. Now, what is this? As I said, this is a control box for a pool. This is a version of Pentair's newest control systems for pools. It's an IntelliCenter control system, and you basically buy the base unit and then you add a bunch of stuff onto it. So this is got a touch screen on it that for setting it all up and doing all that on the actual controller itself. It also has, I purchased the Wi-Fi adapter, so this will hook up to our Wi-Fi system, and I've got all that, and this is the rest of the hookup connection hardware. The big advantage of this is that I can get onto an app and I can see what the pool pump is doing anytime. That allows me, when we are traveling or gone like we just were, I can get on, I can see what's the heat of the pool, what's going on. Is the solar heater on? Is the heat pump on? Is the pump running? Is everything working? If the pump isn't working, like when I blew out a fitting on top and it pumped all the water out of the pool until it got down below the skimmer, and then the pump overheated and turned off. That happened while we were gone. The pump could be off for a week, and then the pool would definitely be green. And nobody is going to tell me about this because nobody's checking on it. So this allows me to monitor the pool from anywhere and to actually change anything from anywhere. I can adjust the heat of the pool. I can adjust the pool pump. I can do anything from anywhere that I am in the world. I'm going to mount this controller on the wall in here where the solar controller was right here before. And this will be right next to the power box. I'm going to use the power that's going to the solar controller now, and I need these lines that were hooked up to the sensors in the solar controller. So this will be the perfect location for it. So I put on these blocks so I can hold it in front of these pipes so I don't have to reroute anything. And I've got them all bolted in here, so it's all set. We're going to hang this up and then we'll be ready to open it up and get everything wired. Now I'm going to wait till the afternoon to do this because I want the pool to be warmed up to the warm temperature in case our guests are here, want to use it this afternoon. And that's why I'm doing it later in the afternoon today. And I'm going to then turn off the pump because I got to turn it all off to wire everything up to here and get it all running. Got the controller all wired up. It's wired to the pump. It's wired to the heat pump outside. I got that all wired up. I wired it into the panel. I also wired up the high-speed internet link, and we are ready to go. So I'm going to button this thing up, button that panel up, get everything closed up, and then we will power it up and see what happens. It's time to do this. I always get a little bit of butterflies when I've done this much work on something and I have to power it up because things could go boom. Who knows? Hopefully not. If I did a good job, nothing goes boom. So we will turn on the controller first. And looks like it is booting. At least it's got the screen up. Now we'll turn on the rest of the equipment. Pool pump, heat pump, and that's it. I literally have to read a license agreement. And accept it. All right. All right, it looks like it's up. We got a picture of a pool on there, a picture of features and a light and everything else. So it looks like this baby is powered up. Now I have a whole bunch of programming to do. As I already looked at the manual and there's like 10 or 12 pages of programming steps to program everything with the solar, with the heat pump, and with the regular pump. It's the next day. And I actually came down yesterday after I ate dinner, spent about another 2 hours programming this guy. And I got it almost all the way programmed. I didn't have it set up correctly exactly. I didn't have the heat pump set up correctly. I had to go through the menus on there and program the heat pump to connect to this system. But I figured that all out. So here it shows the pool is heating and the feature is just the speed, and then if you go on it shows the pool. The temperature of the water is 84 right now. The heat is on and it's on the heat pump right now. Heat is set to 87 degrees. So that's because the heat pump always overshoots by about a degree, and the solar will keep it topped off after that. And also I have the app all set up. So the app does the same thing as this, but it gives you the pool. Well, this is showing the pool, but the dashboard, you load it, you can do the same thing, set the temperature here. You can turn it on and off. You can change the heating method. All this stuff. Awesome. One more project off the list. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And never forget to live before you die.